just gorgeous. Just her demeanor is just, it's perfection. She might be a twig, but when she gets older, she's gonna be even sexier because she's gonna grow into her thickness. I mean, I'll always date bitches younger than me, so what does that have to do with anything? I'll never be a nigga that dates a bitch around the same age as me. Bitches that are around my age have fucked up skin, they got too many kids, they're like old heads, they want to get married quickly. Like, that's just not my style. No man should ever date a bitch older or date a bitch the same age. You should never do that. Unless you're like 18 or something like that, then you don't have a choice. But once you get to like your mid-20s and shit, why are you dating a bitch the exact same age as you? Always get somebody younger. Somebody that's more fresh. Somebody that's newer. Because once chicks start getting around 24, 25, they got wrinkles on their forehead. They got crow's feet. They start getting bags under their fucking eyes. Like all types of shit. See, men, we hold on to our youth longer than women because we don't bleed every fucking month. You know, our bodies don't naturally lack vitamin D. We don't need vitamin B12 shots for energy. Like, we good. Women are like a weird type of species. Like, they need too much shit to keep themselves up, or they just start hagging out very early. Younger does not always equal less smashed. Trust me. Yeah, younger does not always equal less smashed. Nigga, I can be 60 years old. If I could land an 18-year-old chick, why not? I'm gonna be on some Mel Gibson shit. Brad Pitt, he's still fucking with bitches in their 20s. Like, that's just what you do. Oh, shit, I know bitches that's like 24 that fuck 30-something plus niggas. Like, trust me, I know. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio too, because I don't know. I've never been, like I said, I've never been attracted to a woman that was the exact same age than me. Like, there's always been, like, at a bare minimum, a 4-year age gap. Outside of that, like, it's just, like, anything close, like, I can't fuck with it. Like, I don't know, because then they start, once you, like, if you're the same age as whatever woman you're dating, they're gonna have the same expectations for you in life. And I don't like that shit. Like, if we're both 26, she gonna be thinking like, well, we're both 26, we should get married and start having kids. I'm like, well, what? But that ain't my speed right now. Like, yeah, there's a story. No, I'm a little bit older than 26. But there's a story that Brad Pitt, he like stole this rich European dude's wife or some shit like that. And the chick is like 20 something is like in her fucking 20s. You're not too far off though. You're not too far off from 26, but I ain't no fucking 26. But yeah, yeah. There's a story where Brad Pitt, this is some recent shit. Brad Pitt always be kicking it in Europe, right? So there's this dude that owns this like very popular restaurant. And he stole the dude's bitch. The dude's married. The dude's like in his 60s, like 67, dating like 67, dating like a fucking nah, I'm Etika's age. Dating a dating a fucking a 20, I think the chick's like 20 something years old, and he stole a chick. I just think like men, like our shelf life, it starts deteriorating at like 70. If you're rich, it never deteriorates. If you're rich, it never deteriorates, my nigga. If you're rich and you're 65 years old, you can have a bitch that's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, all that type of shit. Now, if you're a broke ass nigga or somebody that's not successful, good luck getting a younger chick. That's just the way the game goes. As far as like, if you get like past 40 and you're not successful, you're not getting a younger girl. It's just not happening. Erectile dysfunction does not happen to every man. That's a myth. Don't think just because, you know, you get 60 one day, your dick's gonna stop working. That's not true. If you take care of yourself, make sure your test levels are correct, eat the correct foods. That's another thing too. If you don't eat right, your body just does not work correctly. Like, your test levels are gonna go down completely. Your dicks are gonna stop working. You're gonna be looking around for L-arginine, you know, looking for fucking products to expand the vessels in your dick because there's no fucking blood. Mario 64. You have to eat correctly or your body, as men, your bodies will not work. Your dicks will not get hard. When you start needing sexual enhancement products, you're doing something wrong with your body. If your dick's not getting hard off glurping good top, if it's not swollen hard with veins bulging and busting, you're doing something wrong. You gotta figure out, what, am I not working out enough? I'm not exercising, my diet shit. Like, there's so many, I mean, am I eating too many greases, too much oil? Standing next to the Avengers? When the fuck was this? Because the male's peak performance is during the day? I don't know about that. I would say my peak performance is whenever I get good glurping top. The top's trash. Good luck at getting a torpedo. You might get a missile, but if the top sucks, yeah, you're not getting a torpedo. That's one thing I can say. Like, if I don't get good top, like, I won't be turned on enough to give you a torpedo. Like, you'll get that 80%. You'll probably get that 70% dick. You can get that 70%. You guys ever, you ever fucked with a bitch that claimed she didn't give head unless you were her boyfriend? I'm like, well, this sex session is gonna suck. You know, you bet, she tells you to take off your pants. You're like, all right, boom. And she's like, well, you ready? I'm thinking like, am I ready? Like, all right, are we gonna start with top or? Oh, you have to be my boyfriend for that. I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean? She's just like, we have to be more intimate for head. So we got to be more intimate for head, but we don't have to be more intimate for me to backshot you and fuck you. I'm kind of confused with that shit. Yeah. Yeah, like I'm just to the point where like my shit is more like psychological. Like, it's not just sex for me no more. It's like a psychological twist I like to play. Like, I'll see how much I can penetrate a bitch's dome first before I even think about that. Like, I'll see if I could fuck with her mentally before I try to engage in anything sexual. And me, I won't make no first moves. Like, I'm not a nigga that makes first moves at all. I feel like I shouldn't have to. I'm a sexy ass nigga. Like, I don't have to make moves on a chick. I feel like my presence, my physique, the way my demeanor, the way I carry myself should make you want to fuck me. I shouldn't have to. I'm not an aggressive guy at all. I don't do aggression when it comes to women either. I'm going to let you come to me. I don't do 60-40 kisses either. On my end. I'm not the type of motherfucker that's going to just see a bitch right here and go, like, look, you see that? Like, how awkward is that? Her face is way here, and you doing a whole 80-20. For what? I'm not gonna be like, it's gotta be, you gotta be right here. It's gotta be 50-50. I don't make no first moves. I don't remember the last time I made a sexual move on a chick. You don't get that shit out of me. Too arrogant for all that shit. I fucked enough women in my life. I don't have to make first moves. If we don't fuck, cool. You're lost. You missed a great performance. And I'm not crying about it. I'd rather be streaming or doing some other shit anyway than fucking somebody. I would say if anything, like, I'm trying to think, when's the last time I made a move on a chick? Like, where it wasn't 50-50, where I just went all in. I can't remember. I call it a performance because that's what I do. If the woman gets the pleasure and chance to fornicate with me, it's literally a performance. You'll think about me 5 years from now when you're married, what I did to you. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to leave an imprint on a woman. You don't just fuck. When you fuck with a woman, you leave a mental imprint on top of everything else. If she ain't foul. You leave a mental imprint. There's still girls right now women right now that would love to fuck me but have 3 kids. And I dated them when I was 18. Like, why are you still thinking about me when you're married with children? Because I implanted a mental imprint. It is a performance. It's not sex when you fuck with me. It's a performance. You're going to remember the crazy clit sucks, the clataco, the tongue banging, the 5-dimensional clit suck. You're going to remember that. You're going to remember the deep strokes to make sure I bust and get in each 5 dimensions of a vagina. I don't give a fuck how many niggas you fuck with. You're still going to remember me. Why? Because I play a psychological game first. I don't make first moves. So you're always going to remember me for a lot of things. Psychological game. I do not make first moves with women at all. Right? I will never make the first move. I'm extremely good looking. A physique you're not going to see every day. I'm arrogant. So the way I come off anyway is like I don't need a woman for pleasure in the first place because I don't. So there's so many different things why a woman's always going to think about me and never forget me, period. And then if you get a lucky enough chance for me to perform, expect the best. I might do wild shit just for you. I'm not going to say everything I would do, but like I said, it's a performance. Men, when you have sex with women, you are supposed to perform. Don't just get in and bust quickly. Don't do that. Make sure you niggas perform. Foreplay. Make sure you suck and lick around the areolas. Kiss the neck as long as it's not salty. Kiss the waist. Kiss the thighs. Kiss the pussy. Tease it a bit. Perform. Don't have sex. Perform. A lot of you niggas fuck chicks and you just so happy to get inside a pussy you blow it. You blow your load in 5 to 10 minutes. Any tips for lasting longer? It's all cognitive. That's one thing women have always said to me. Is they're like, if my vagina was so good, why did you last so long? I said, I did that for you. What do you mean you did it for me? If I was to ejaculate quickly, vagina is designed for a man to bust quickly. Exactly, Anton. Vagina is designed to make a man bust quickly. vagina is designed to make a man submit, period. So when you first get in something fire, not everything you get ain't gonna be fire. Some chicks you slide, you're like, oh, this is it? All right, for sure. Be able to beat this up for a good hour. She gonna have to give me top for me to bust off this. Now, if you get some hole up is like if you slide in, you're like, ooh, hold on a second. Soon as you feel your tip slide in, just remotely, and it's backed up. There's a different type of vagina when there's backup. When you gotta dip the tip, come out, re-dip, that means it's too tight. That means she don't be fucking a gang of niggas, so on and so forth. Or you just could be blessed with a BBC. But and BBC is not ethnicity based. Any ethnicity can have a BBC, all right? Doesn't always mean that, but you know the context. But soon as you enter something that's fire, instantly you have to go mental instead of going penal. Soon as you slide in, I'm like, oh, all right, well, I wasn't expecting this. And you just kind of give it slow strokes. Once the tip gets used to the heat, the foreign heat, you're able to stroke a little bit faster. And here's another trick. Don't do missionary. Do missionary when you get used to the woman's vagina. Don't do missionary for the first time because you'll probably bust quick. Because it's just a woman's vagina sits differently in missionary style. Don't let her ride you either, because chicks, when they ride you, they get carried away. You could be like, I'm about to bust, and she just keep riding fast. Like, I'm like, didn't you hear me? I said I'm about to bust. Like, stop. Like, I'm trying to please you. So, don't do missionary. Don't let her ride. Do back shots because you can control, you can steer. You know, you can take the cheeks. Well, most of you niggas don't fuck chicks with cheeks, but regardless of the fact, if she don't got ass when you bend her over, something's wrong. Like, you shouldn't be fucking that. Like, at least every woman should have ass at least when you bend them over. Create the facade. Take the back shot so that you can control and dip and slide, and you could choose an angle that doesn't heat your tip to a certain point where you're ready to bust. You can literally, and you get more control of a woman's G-spot from the back. Man, he says this dead on God. You can hit a woman's G-spot a lot better from the back. It's either most women could come if they're riding you, or most women come if you backshotting, because you could really hit these. And you don't got to get a deep BBC from the back unless they beg you to. But if you, it's hard to explain, but you can like almost feel the G-spot if you're hitting it from the back. You just keep hitting that little. It's just areas, it's pockets in a woman's vagina that you could keep hitting, and it doesn't even have to be completely hard. And if you keep hitting that 5-dimensional pocket in the vagina, then you could cause a rupture inside of a woman's vagina, which is basically an orgasm. All I gotta say is, guys, what I'm saying, probably a lot of you niggas maybe aren't even old enough to be fucking. If you're young in here, and if this is your first time hearing it, blame your fucking parents. Because if you got a dad, he should have talked to you about this shit already. If you got an older brother, he should have talked to you already, all right? So this ain't my fault. But this is the same conversation with you niggas I'm having whenever the day comes that I have kids. I'm telling my son the most graphic sexual education stories, period. I'm going to be like, listen, bro. Most vaginas you're going to come in contact with are going to be foul. Like, he's like, Dad, what do you mean foul? I'm going to be like, well, let's go to this store. He's like, all right, well, we're just talking about sex. Let's go to the store, my nigga. Are you asking me questions, or are we going to the store? Yes, Dad. Hop in the car. So, Dad, is it still about sex? Hold on. You know, the way I do things is a little bit different from normal people. We're driving. Boom, we finally get to the store. We go straight back to the seafood section. He's like, Dad, what are we doing next to the shrimp? I'm like, come over here, bro. Stop. You can get any cereal, whatever you want, but first, we're going to continue with this conversation. I'm going to ask the meat guy, I'm like, let me get a pound of shrimp and crab. And he's like, Dad, we're cooking, you're cooking shrimp and crab done? I'm like, no, the personal chef does all that. Like, I don't cook for you. I'm not gonna cook for a boy. Like, I'm a man. I don't cook for another man. Are you get that? Yeah, Dad, you never cook for me. Like, exactly. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna finish our conversation, and after that, a week from now, I want you to come see me. He's like, wow, all right, Dad, whatever. All right, we'll talk later. Boom. A week from now, fast forward a week, boom. He like comes in the room, like he comes in the kitchen, like, Dad, what is that smell? I said, come a little bit closer. He's like, oh my God, like, what is that smell, Dad? And mind you, I'm gonna have sexual conversations with my kids around like the ages of 6 or 7, so they know, because the world's gonna be totally different by the time I have kids. Like, who knows? Like, shit might be on some radical shit. I'm like, yo, come here real quick. He's like, oh my God. I'm gonna take the crab and shrimp, right? The bag of crab and shrimp, and I'm gonna grab the back of my son's head. I'm like, come here, bro. I'm gonna grab him like this, and I'm gonna take the stank ass shrimp and crab and just let him smell. I'm like, just stay here. So like, stop that. I'm like, nigga, you better not move. He's like, all right. I'm like, smell this for 30 seconds, and I'm gonna just force him to smell the shrimp and the crab while I just grab him with a big ass bicep and forearm, or he can't do shit anyway. He's like, why are you doing this to me? I'm like, all right, we're good. Now take this shit out, come back in here, and we're gonna have the rest of our sexual talk. He's gonna come back in here, and I'm gonna be like, 90% of women's vaginas are gonna be reminiscent to what you just smelled. Like, oh my gosh, Dad, are you serious? Like, in that case, there's ways to go about it. And then we'll get into more graphic ways to where I can teach him to be arrogant and more outspoken enough to let these women know. All right, that's all. We're gonna stop right there. We about to play Mario Brothers. Can't give you niggas all my secrets. I don't know. I'm a weird ass motherfucker. Like, there's psychological steps to everything that I do, IRL. So I for sure, I'm not just gonna be like some regular ass parent. Fuck no. I'm a very psychological person. I like to see how far I can get into somebody's head before I do anything. I'm trying to figure out why you would compare MK2 to Street Fighter 2 or Streets of Rage. That's very weird. I mean, put it like this, if my son was gay, we would lose our relationship. As far as like us being like hella cool, because I put you on this earth to deliver seeds to continue the lifeline. But I'd be like, yo, it'd be more like a buddy ship after that. If I had a son that was gay, we could just be friends after that. I'm no longer your father. But I would tell him like, yo, I'd be like, here's the thing, like, it's cool. You like the booty bus? Men, get your top sucked by dudes. Excellent. But I'm going to ask one thing from you as like your dad, right? I need you to do me this one favor. He's like, well, what's that? Or no, my son would be a masculine gay. So he'd be like, well, what's that, Dad? I'd be like, whatever you do, just procreate. I know you're out there booty busting and sucking cocks and everything like that, but listen, you're like, well, Dad, like, I'm the one that delivers. Like, I don't actually suck cock. I'm be like, I didn't ask you for all of that. I just assumed. But all I'm asking you is procreate and carry on the lineage, all right? Like, all right, Dad, cool. Like, can I get a hug or something? Nah, you're good, my guy. I see you on Christmas or Thanksgiving or something like that. Your mom wants to talk to you, though. She's in the kitchen. She said she had some leftovers and cookies for you or something like that. All right, I'm out of here. First off, Richard, I don't need you schooling me on shit, dumbass nigga. That's why it's a story. Motherfucker, is this literal? You dumbass nigga? Like, are y'all niggas retarded? Like, it's like you come to my fucking streams, right? And you try to correct a nigga that has everything already fucking mapped out. Like, shut the fuck up, nigga, and enjoy what the fuck I'm talking about. Are you not fucking entertained, dumbass nigga? The fuck? Clearly I don't have the choice of my child's cognitive if they're gonna be a top or bottom, you dumbass nigga. It's called metaphorically speaking, dumb fuck. All my stories are metaphorical. I'm not crushing no nigga's gym. It always gotta be somebody to try to fuck this shit up, whether you was playing or not, nigga. Like, you knew. Oh, God. Jeez, la fucking Louise.